Cole Ruffin, Virginia Beach, Virginia.
Hello, everyone. Judith Thomas, Danville, Virginia.
Good evening, everyone. Constance Finchback, Danville, Virginia. Most of you all know me. Glad to see y'all.
Chapman, I'm from Danville, Virginia.
Balacho, Woodbridge, Virginia. Thank you.
Elvis Mota, Dallas, Texas.
Good evening. Kenneth Stevens, Danville, Virginia.
Just in case you're just tuning in, Council, you can turn your microphones on. We had some technical difficulties, and just in case you're just tuning in, these are some persons who helped us with our vaccinate routine here in the city of Danville. They'll be leaving us very soon. Some of them are from Danville and some are from Dallas, Texas. Again, we want to say thank you all so much for all that you all done. You're not leaving yet. You're leaving when is the last day for you all here in Danville?
28.
The 28th of June, so we'll be seeing you all then. But again, thank you all so much, as you heard from all the council members, for everything that you've done. Our city manager I spoke with him early. He's sitting by the waves. He's on a well-deserved vacation, and he was making me jealous today, but he extend his appreciation as well. You all know he's worked extremely hard, him and his team, with this vaccination and getting people vaccines. So we're going to encourage people to continue to get vaccines, but once again, thank you all so much for all you've done. Let's give them another hand, please. I'm going to ask Ms. Montague to come forward. She has her and her team, she has some wonderful news for us on some events that are going to be taking place. Again, just in case you're just tuning in, we want to apologize. We had some technical difficulties, and thanks to Mark Aaron and Arnold, they got it all worked out. Good evening.
Good evening, everyone. How is everyone tonight?
Everyone great.
Great.
Please tell everyone your name and introduce your team behind you, please.
Okay, I am Danielle Montague. I am with Danville Parks and Recreation. I am the Health and Wellness Coordinator. We have Dr. Melanie Lewis from Avery University, and we also have LaShawn Farmer from the Boys and Girls Club of Danville, Virginia. We come here with you all today to invite everyone to come out to Sunday's Juneteenth Celebration, where we will be celebrating Freedom Day. As we know, Juneteenth is June the 19th, but we all wanted to give everyone time to do their own thing and celebrate how they want to celebrate, and then come to ours so they can just relax and have fun. We will be having music by DJ Be Stupid and DJ LaToya McKenzie. We will also be having Curry Slug doing a civil rights tour. Fred Motley, who will also be there doing a presentation and a exhibit for Danville history. And we will also be having Cuban dancers there. It's a picnic style. Come out, bring the kids, bring some food, and celebrate with us.
Tell us what time it started and mention where it's going to take place again.
It will be at the Carrington Pavilion. Gates open at 3. It will start from 3:30 to 7.
And you're encouraging everyone to bring their lawn chairs?
Lawn chairs, tents, tables. We'll have vendors there as well, so bring money. You might want to shop with some of our local Black-owned businesses.
And what does it cost to get in?
It is free.
Say it again. They like to hear that.
It is free. No cost to this event.
Great. Thank you. If you want to add anything? Thank you all so much for everything that you're doing. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm going to pause and ask Councilman Saunders, since we were delayed getting on air, and I'll ask you all to join us again. We've already done the Pledge of Allegiance, but I've asked Councilman Saunders to lead us in prayer one more time, please.
God, again, we come to you to say thank you for your many blessings. Thank you for all our volunteers, those who live here and those who live far away, who've come to our city to save lives. They are life savers. God, we thank you for the city. We thank you for our citizens, and we thank you for everything that you do. Please accept our thanks, God, and please continue to bless your children everywhere. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Communication from visitors. Citizens who desire to speak on any item that's not on the agenda may come forward at this time. Any citizen who would desire to speak on any item that's not on the agenda may come forward at this time. I want to say good evening to you young men. Just while they're coming up, they brought gifts. That's how you come to City Council. They brought gifts. Thank you for the shirts that you've given us this evening. Introduce yourselves. Please state your name and address for the record, and please.
Vincent Brown. I'm a resident of Winston-Salem, but a Danville raised man. So I'm so glad to be before council, and thank you, Mayor and the City Council, for having us.
Thank you for being here.
My name is Gerard Harris. Recently moved here from Richmond, Virginia, and I thank you, council, for giving us this opportunity, and you too, Mayor Jones.
Thank you.
Yeah. I appreciate you guys so very much. As we come before you, there's a couple things I would like to share with you. We're two ministers, so you have to give us some preacher's minutes, just a minute. So
we deduct minutes from preaching.
Mr. Harris is going to pass out some booklets to you to describe what our apprenticeship painting program is and what the intent of it is and what we do. Just a little background history. I started painting here years ago. I graduated from Danville High School in 1981. And from then on, and before then, I was painting. My dad was a paint contractor, Sampson's Painting, around here for many years. He owned Sampson Seafood. And I was a painter here who worked for Blair and Quality and all of those folks. We did the Walmart, we did the train station. We did a lot of work around this city for many years. I went off to the Navy, and I was a boatswain mate painter in the military, painting boats. And so I've come home to Danville, Virginia, to do some painting. And not only to do painting, but we've come to actually bring a program, a registered program with the state, a registered program with the Department of Veterans Affairs, a registered program with the Department of Labor. Our apprenticeship program will do justice for those of the citizens of Danville. And what this program will actually do, we will pay the apprentice to learn a trade. The trade is painting. And then we will guarantee employment full-time when those apprentices complete the program. We have a full 4-year apprenticeship program, and then we have a shorter program, which is a pre-apprenticeship program for those that may not have a GED or high school education as of that time. Our apprenticeship program is well recognized, as you can read, from the National Home Builders Association. We're recognized through all of the major construction industries. So this is not something just thought up, but this is a 20-year work that I worked on and wrote for many years. I'd like to also thank Councilman Mayo and Councilman Hood for allowing us to really come forward and bring this program. This program is very special, and it's very close to our heart. And there's no other program like this program in the state or in the East Coast. We are the only one that offer this specific program in this specific arena, which is painting. Now, why is painting so important? I don't think they're going to make robots to do this kind of work. So painting will be around a long time. The data shows that there's over a 50,000 shortage in painters just in the state of Virginia. They're aging out, they're retiring, and no one is bringing up the trades at this point in time. And we all know there's a great shortage in trades. Our job is to help fill that shortage. Currently, I'm working at Camp Lejeune. I'm working at Fort Bragg. We have 3 or 4 year contracts there. I'm working on a school in Oxford, which is 70,000 square feet. We're working at the North Carolina Zoo right now. We have annual contracts that we do there. We have the new project of 290 units in Greensboro, which is United House of Prayer, that's being built. We do major construction work. And we want to teach the residents and the citizens of Danville to not only be a house painter, but also to be an entrepreneur. Not only to learn how to paint a room, but to learn commercial and industrial, which means that they will have certifications on lifts, and they will have certifications on safety and OSHA, and they will have certifications on how to work on a construction job. And this is what we will teach them and get them 101 ready to go to any construction site, to any job, any place, and they will be well qualified with credentials to be able to perform the duties as needed. Not only that, but we teach another piece which is called facility maintenance. We teach the lean. We teach them how to do tag-outs. We teach them how to work safely and do blowdowns. I did Goodyear 1989, and I did the showroom in Goodyear, one of the first to do that. So we have a long track record, a deep track record of painting. I learned on-the-job training. My dad was a painter. At 6 years of age, he put a brush in my hand. And I'm 57 years old, and I'm still brushing with that same brush. They don't last that long anymore, but that one was a good one. So I want to bring this program before you. Mr. Harris may have some other things as our executive director. We have a 501c3 that is here in the city of Danville. Our office is located in Schofield, and we look forward to working with the city. And let me also say this. What we're doing it out of our own resources. No grants, no federal money. This is my company putting back into community and being a community person because I believe in our community and I believe in my hometown of Danville, Virginia.
Before you turn it over to what's the age group?
Well, we have actually, Mayor, 3 age groups. The first age group is those that are going to be from 14 to 19. We specifically looking for that age group that's about to graduate high school, maybe not going to go to college, but need a trade. The next age group we're looking at is 21 to 30. Those that may have background issues, reentry, coming out of prison. We don't want to keep going back through the Grey Goose and the revolving door. So we're going to provide an income and a trade for those folks that's coming out so that they can make an honorable living. We're also looking at the older age group of those who need to be retrained, maybe came out to manufacturing. We're also looking at homeless under the McKinley Act, those who just need a second chance. So I hope I'm answering your question.
You did. If you've given a lot of information, I know your time has run up, but this is very important. Right now, I was called this week due to some young people in our North Danville area out there fighting. Give your information to those parents, how they can get in touch with you. School is out. If you can give that information to the parents, because they've called, I got some messages today, how can these young people get involved in your program?
We would be glad to, Mayor, and we would do that ASAP.
Can you give out any telephone number, any
Yes.
information? I mean, on the mic,
Okay.
so the parents can write it down. And go slow so the parents can write it down.
Okay. Our Danville number to reach us is area code 434-429.
Yes, sir.
2508. I'm going to repeat that. Our
Good.
Danville number is area code 434-429-2508. Our Winston-Salem number is area code 336-842-3353. We have secretaries in our office to receive those calls if I'm not available. Our email is Statesville, STATESVILLE, paint, PAINTS plural, V as in Victor, B as in boy, @gmail.com.
Say that email again. Do that again.
Statesville Paints, STATESVILLE, PAINTS, V as in Vincent, B as in Brown, @gmail.com.
Well, we want to thank you so much. City Council has allocated funding Danville Public Schools and got partnerships for our young people. They're starting to work. And you coming back home and you brought a Richmond, he should have been home a long time ago. But welcome home.
Thank you, sir.
But we're very proud of you for what you're doing. We support you, and that's why I want you to take your time. I'm gonna yield to Mr. Harris. We'll give him one of your minutes that's gone.
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to let City Council know that this program that we have and the revitalization and the redevelopment of Danville with all the new developments that we have coming in, this program that we have can guarantee city residents employment. We can guarantee city residents opportunities to be on the job sites of Caesars and to be on the job sites of the other developments that's coming into the city. It's going to bring back revenue to the neighborhoods. It's going to give young men and young women a sense of pride in their city that they helped build this casino, that they helped build the hotels and all the other developments that we have that's going to be rising up here in Danville. I think that this program is none other like in any state that you can go to. We specialize in painting, but we also do more than just that. We are going to teach men and women how to be maintenance techs. There's an art to these things. It's just not picking up a buffer and stripping a floor, things like that. It's integral parts. We're going to teach young men and women how to read blueprints, how to know what type of paint goes on what type of surface. So the opportunity that these people are going to have in the city of Danville is going to take them to wherever they want to go in life. They can take this trade and go to any other state and be certified.
Like you said, it's them preachers. But I can thank you all.
Thank
you all.
I do thank you.
The thing I like about it is real passionate about what you're doing, but most important, you all came back to Danville, and we appreciate that. Thank you all so much. Again, that number is 434-429-2508, 434-429-2508, SPM Empowerment and Skills Incorporated Apprenticeship Program. Thank you so much. Thank you all. We're still under communication. Anyone else who would like to speak on any item that's not on the agenda may come forward at this time. Good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor. How are you?
Doing well, thank you.
It's a pleasure to join you all again here.
Glad to have you.
Seems like I saw you all just a short few months ago.
Yes.
When we began the journey with you all and looking to ensure that we could educate and vaccinate the city of Danville and all those in the area. So I want to thank you again for welcoming us to the area. I'm Cassandra Butler. I'm the program manager for Elite Business Strategies and Educate and Vaccinate. And we are excited to be able to say that with your welcoming and collaboration with the community partners and the local health district, we've been able to come in and hopefully make an impact. Dr. Spillman, with the Health Department District Director, has invited us to continue to be able to do some outreach efforts, including canvassing, being at events, encouraging people to be able to get vaccinated. I know that I saw a beautiful picture that the team took with you all earlier. I just got off the road from Richmond, but I wanted to be here as you all acknowledge the team. I also wanted to acknowledge you for being very proactive and taking the steps to ensure that you get things done for your community. I will tell you, you're the only community that I know of that really was proactive in getting a flyer within your utility statements to make everybody aware of what was going on. So kudos to you on that and all of the events that we were able to have in this area to make everyone informed and also have the vaccination accessible to all of you. So thank you again and continue best wishes on everything that you're pursuing to ensure that the community is healthy and safe.
We want your team to stand up again. We had some technical difficulties earlier. We want your team to stand up again, and we'll give them a big hand for all the work that they've done in this community. Thank you so much. Your team has been absolutely phenomenal, as council has stated. And again, thank you so much. And
what's your name, ma'am?
Cassandra Butler.
Glad to have you. Thank you.
Anyone else? Thank you so much. Thank you. All. Thank you. We're still under communication. Anyone else who would like to speak on any item that's not on the agenda may come forward this time. Please state your name and your address for the record. Good evening.
Good evening, City Council, Mayor, and Deputy City Manager, City Clerk, and City Attorney. I'm here. My name is Quanell Totten, the founder and president of One Accord Connections in the beautiful city of Danville, where we're still discovering possibilities in the comeback city. We are actually here to invite you all and the city to our annual Rock the Block celebration that we'll be having on June 26, 2021, from 4 to 8 p.m. at Taylor Drive and Pumpkin Creek, and that's the old Pumpkin Creek location. We will have this year a petting zoo, food, activities, a basketball tournament, as we used to have as well. We will have water activities as well from Danville Parks and Rec, and they will be doing some activities as well. I just wanted to invite you all to come out and celebrate with us on that day.
You want to introduce your?
Oh, I'm sorry. This is Janet Edwards. She's one of my team members for One Accord Connections.
Thank you so much, Ms. Edwards, for being here. Thank you. Any comments?
Yes. I just want to. I'm so happy to be here. I'm a little nervous because I never became a full board like this. My name is Janice Edwards, and I don't know if this is the right forum. I'm in entertainment, and I'm bringing in one of the biggest entertainers in the industry via Tyler Perry. Her name is Hattie Mae. If y'all watch Tyler Perry, everybody should be familiar with that. So I'm bringing her in, and I am asking the board to please help me help her get here. It's my cancer event that I host each year. And she has graciously said that she would come, and if the welcome is welcoming enough, she's guaranteed me that the next year I will bring in Tyler Perry.
We have a person on our council that's smiling right now. He's looking at me and he's shaking his head. We have our own entertainment guru. So get with Brian Hood when this is over with, and he can help guide and direct you. That's what he does.
Yes, and because 2 years ago you was there, and you helped me when I brought the record tournament in from New York City. I brought them in, and it was a great success. And I thank you all for help support me, and I'm just looking for the support again to bring in Hattie Mae from Tyler Perry.
Great, thank you so much for, so much wonderful news tonight about what's happening in Danville, and we're happy about it. But once again, get with Mr. Hood, and on the 26th of June from 4 to 8 p.m., the Rock the Block at Pumpkin Creek and Petting Zoo. That's going to be quite interesting.
Yeah, thank you. Thank y'all.
Thank you so much. We're still in communications. Anyone like to speak on any item that's not on the agenda may come forward at this time. Please state your name and your address for the record, please. Good evening, sir.
Mayor.
Good evening.
City Council. And my name's Gordon Bartholomew, and I'm back again from a year ago. I don't know if y'all remember me, but I came in and spoke about a couple of items. And so back again this evening. I want to thank you guys for the job you do. You do a wonderful job. I'd like to thank Danville Police Department. I think they do an outstanding job, and I always keep them in my prayers every day when they go out and do their job. I too went through an academy in North Carolina, the top one in the state, and it was quite an experience, and so I always know what these officers are out there handling and dealing with. So just wanted to mention that. But the reason I bring that up is because I asked a couple of things last year concerning, one, it was a naked man on the trail, and Danville Police Department took care of that problem. Hadn't seen anybody out there like that, and that was really a blessing. So I really appreciate it a lot. I talked to one of the, I think it was a captain, and he assured me they took care of that. Another thing, I noticed they had a speed indicator out there on Trade Street where the goose got ran over down there last year. And anyway, I was really glad to see them put that out there. I know it does help. How much, I'm sure they have some way of statistically figuring that out, but it was really nice to see that they actually moved on that. The other thing I'd like to say, Mr. Saunders, you did a wonderful job on the prayer. You spoke about you loving everybody, we're God's children. And when I say that, I also think about animals. And these geese, are very important, not only geese, but I like wildlife. I think it's, Danville, I'm sure you guys remember back when Danville used to talk about promoting the beauty of Danville, fix up, clean up week and these kind of things. Well, if you go in a city and you don't see any animals, and all you're seeing is bricks and mortars, it's kind of, it's sad, you wonder where the animals went, what happened to them? Well, this came up in a conversation, and I won't mention any names who I had this conversation with, but it put a thought in my mind, and I said, well, if somebody ran over one of your children or harmed your family in some way or became a threat to them, you'd probably leave and go somewhere else. And the reason I mentioned that is because in this conversation, the person said, I don't see these geese out here anymore. I don't see them like it used to be. You used to have a duck walk across the street down here on Memorial Drive, and you don't see the geese going across the street. And I said, well, yeah, they're still out there. They fly out to Danville Memorial Garden. They're up at where the new casino is going to be built. Thank goodness. It's going to be nice. Looking forward to that. They stay down on the river trails and that kind of thing. But over time, if we don't come together and look after our wildlife, we won't have any wildlife. I mean, they'll leave. They're free to come and go, as you know. And I took some photographs of some of them down on the Riverwalk Trail. I didn't bring them with me, and I apologize for that. But when I was looking at these things, I don't know if you guys remember the old Andy Griffith show. Remember the storylines behind those shows? I don't know if you guys ever watched any of that, but my mother, when I took care of her, we used to watch that show, and Andy Griffith's son got a slingshot and shot one of the birds and killed it. And he had that conversation with his son, Opie. He told him, he said, he said, the mother's gone, so, you killed it. It's no bringing it back. So when people go out here and run over these geese out here on the road or do anything to these animals, it's the same kind of thing. You can't bring them back, and if the parents are looking for their loved ones, just like we would, as humans. So I come down to follow up, if there has been anything done. I know I talked to the Humane Society, and they said they were having signs made. I haven't seen any signs. They did say one had gotten taken, the one that used to be on Memorial Drive. Well, I actually located it, and it was across from the treasurer office, just sitting out leaning up against a tree. I don't know why. Maybe they were mowing or something and just left it there. But it sure would be nice to come into the city, and you see the signs out there that say an all-American city. Well, an all-American city, when I think of that, I'm thinking about the beautiful scenery, the character of the homes, animals, all these kind of things. And so, I asked the city council, if it's any way that, I know you got a lot of important things going on, but if you guys could think about these animals and think about the children of tomorrow. These young children, they grow up, learn to love animals. We set the presents for the kids.
Okay, thank you so much. Your time is up, but I'll give you 2 more minutes if you want.
Okay. But just in closing, I didn't mean to take up too much time, but, if you guys could, see that something could be done about having the kids, having these animals taken care of, some kind of signage put out there for duck walks. I mean, it may not keep people from running over them, but, it'll deter a lot of it, I think.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you for all that you do. You thanked everyone else. We want to thank you for what you do.
I appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
God bless you.
We're still under communications. Anyone who'd like to speak on any item that's not on the agenda may come forward this time. Please state your name and your address for the record. And good evening to you, sir.
Good evening, Mayor, City Council. My name is Julius Bryant. I live at 458 Williamson Road here in Danville. And I'm coming to you today on behalf of the homeowner, Ray Smith, who I live with and take care of, to ask about a resolution that's been about 8 years in the making. The home that we live in is on the corner of Williamson Road and Bluegrass. The part of Bluegrass that we live on is what is referred to by Public Works as a paper road. The city does not maintain it, does not take care of it, anything like that. The problem that I have is that we have tried for 8 years with Public Works to do something about it. whether it be to pave it ourselves or to concrete it, and we have been met with roadblock after roadblock. Just today, I spoke with engineering asking about a drain pipe to be put in where Bluegrass meets up with Williamson Road. There's a huge dip there. My daughter is in a wheelchair, and it's starting to tear up the wheelchair carriers. We're going in and out of the property. So I'm coming today to ask City Council to help us find a resolution. We're told we can't pave, but then today we were told that we could pave at our expense the dip. And my question to City Council and whoever may be over that is, why couldn't we just pave the road on our side of the Bluegrass Court where we are, but we're being told no because of fire hydrants. There's a water testing thing there where the city comes out every month and tests the water. And so I really would like City Council to help us find some resolution. We're willing to meet about halfway to try to fix it, but the house is a beautiful house. It was redone about 8.5 years ago, and it's a very beautiful house, and it just has a really ugly driveway sitting there that nobody does anything about.
The reason we ask you for your name and your address, because right there to your left is our deputy city manager, and he's going to be reaching out to you.
Okay.
And he's going to be setting up an appointment to talk with you, and the resolution that you're asking for, he'll get with you and the city staff and see what they can work out. Does that work for you?
Awesome. Thank you so
And
much.
I appreciate you for being here tonight. Thank you so much. We're still in communications. Any person who'd like to speak on any item that's not on the agenda may come forward this time. Anyone who'd like to speak on any item that's not on the agenda may come forward this time. Under the consent agenda, I open the public hearing. Anyone who would like to speak on any item that's on the consent agenda may come forward at this time. Anyone that'd like to speak on any item that's on the consent agenda may come forward at this time. I close the public hearing. Councilman Campbell.
Mr. Mayor, I move for adopting the consent agenda B, C, and D if there are no incorrections.
Second by Councilman Vogler. Discussion of the motion. Madam Clerk, call the roll, please.
Mr. Buckner? Reverend Campbell?
Aye.
Mr. Hood?
Aye.
Mayor Jones?
Aye.
Mr. Mayo?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Miller?
Aye.
Mr. Saunders?
Aye.
Mr. Vogler?
Aye.
Mr. Whittle?
Aye.
Council and citizens, going forward with our general funds financial results, you've heard the city council talk about transparency. So going forward, our general financial report would always be read going forward in our regular meeting. Michael, good evening and welcome.
Good evening, Council. Thank you. In your agenda packets tonight, you'll find our general fund financial results through the end of May. That is 92% of the fiscal year complete. Because there's only 2 weeks left of our fiscal year, I wanted to focus my comments more on where we are right now as we approach the end of the fiscal year. Just for note, at May 31st, our revenues were at 86% of budget. That's very much on track with where we usually find ourselves at that point in the year. Last year, or the prior several years, we've been between 86 and 87% at that point. But looking more at current status, as you know, June is a very significant time of collection for the city. So I do have information on our performance as of today I'd like to share with you. With regard to property taxes, both real estate and personal property, if we look at real estate collections through today, through this month, we met our budget on June 7th, which was when the tax bills were due. Sometimes it takes us further into June to meet our budget, but we were fortunate that we did that on the due date. In fact, today we are $460,000 over budget on current real estate collections. With regard to delinquent real estate collections, we are at 86% of budget. That does ebb and flow from year to year. So we are about $140,000 under budget right now, but we still have the rest of this month, and accounting standards let us look into the future. So if we collect additional revenues in July and August, we can pull those back into this correct fiscal year. So we still have some time to make up the distance on that. Public Service Corporation real estate taxes, those are companies like telecom companies that provide telephone services to our citizens. That real estate tax is $175,000 over budget at this point. Shifting gears to personal property, the current year is always a little slower collecting personal property. It usually does take us through the end of June to collect our budget. However, right now we only need about $14,000 more in personal property tax collections to meet our budget for this year. So given that we have a couple more weeks left in the year, I think we'll meet and exceed that just a little bit. With regards to delinquent personal property, that's been an area of focus over the last year and a half or so. We have surpassed a budget on that, currently $340,000 over budget on delinquent personal property collections. Looking at our local consumer-driven taxes, as I've mentioned to you before in prior months, our sales tax has been performing very well this year. I'm sure in response to the state's mandate of collecting sales tax for e-commerce. As of this month, or May rather, I think I told you last month, we received over $1 million in May just for the May sales tax from the state. It's only the second time that's happened. The first time was back in the holiday season for this past year. We receive our sales tax installments usually on the 16th of each month. So today I found out that the state will be sending us $924,000 tomorrow for our June installment, another very high number for 1 month. So this year, our sales tax should exceed budget by about $1 million. That's remarkable. Business licenses, that season usually peaks in March. Most business licenses are due in March. Some companies choose to pay quarterly, and so those have come in by now. Business license revenue is $130,000 over budget. With regard to meals tax, as you know, with the pandemic, our restaurants had capacity limits that they had to deal with.
I have a question on the, how many are on those that are getting the permits or the?
Business licenses?
Yeah.
Quarterly, is that?
Yeah, or is it just?
It varies greatly from year to year. If a business has a certain amount of revenue that they're paying for the license based on, then they can qualify to choose to pay quarterly, but they may or may not, and that changes from year to year. So I really don't have a number as far as how many are paying quarterly and how many aren't. With regard to meals tax, as you know, the restaurants had to deal with capacity issues, which have been lifted now. However, at the end of May, we had recovered, and we were back up to budget. At the end of May, we were at 92% of budget, with a 92% of the year complete. So we were right on track at the end of May. To meet budget in meals tax, we need $678,000 in June. And as a point of reference, our average for the last 3 months has been over $800,000 per month. So I'm pretty certain that we will likely exceed budget on meals tax for this year. However, lodging tax, as you know, is another area that the pandemic caused some struggles in. At the end of May, we were at 84.5% of budget. We would need about $250,000 in June to meet that. In the past 3 months, we've been receiving about $135,000, so we will be short on lodging taxes, between $100,000 and $125,000, I think. Another area is bank stock tax. Our local banks have to pay a tax based on the level of deposits they have during the year. That line item is $109,000 over budget for this year. Another area of increased activity is recordation taxes. As you can imagine, with interest rates being low, we've had a lot of home sales. We've had a lot of refinancing going on. Also, if a corporate entity refinances their debt, and we saw, I believe, our SOVA, our hospital operation chose to refinance some debt this year. And a result of that is our recordation taxes are about $212,000 over budget for fiscal 21. All is not rosy, however. There are a few lines that have struggled this year. Telecom taxes, those are the consumer taxes that we pay on our cell phones and telephones and what have you. That is going to be short, about $300,000 this year. And as I've told you in past months, interest earnings are going to be short, obviously, because interest rates are so low. We did budget very conservatively at about 1/4% on new investments this year. However, the actual rate's about 1/10% this year.
Can I ask you why they're short?
I'm sorry?
Why are they short?
Just the overall interest rates, but the federal interest rate that we're able to receive on CDs and that type of thing with our invested funds right now is much lower than we anticipated. So that's another area that will fall short. The only other areas we may fall short on are state revenues, and I'm speaking of categorical aid, and those are directly related to expenditures. So areas like social services, if we spend the money, we get reimbursed by the state. So if we're short on those, it's because we're also short on the expenditure side. So those don't have quite a negative effect on the city. If you were keeping a running tab on those numbers, as with regard to the revenues that I mentioned, it's going to be about $1.6 million over budget. Wonderful news for us.
So a surplus of $1.6 million?
In revenues. I'm just talking about revenues. On the expenditure side, we continue to be very conservative. Our departments at the end of May had spent 83% of their budget. Prior years, it's usually between 84 and 86, so that's very good. As with regard to non-departmental expenses, the main two are group health insurance and debt service. Of course, we usually know our debt service, what that's going to be, so that's right on track with budget. I mentioned last month that our group health insurance was creeping a little bit ahead of budget, and that's still the case. Right now, we're running about 4 or 5% above budget with group health insurance, which is about $350,000. If you recall, last year we had a very much savings in our group health insurance. We were under budget about $1.2 million. Speculating, I'm saying that's all based on utilization. I would believe that the pandemic caused employees to either postpone doctor's appointments or postpone surgeries that maybe they were planning last year. And this year, I think, is a year of catch-up. People are making those appointments and getting those things taken care of. So I think that's why we're having a little bit over budget this year. It's just increased utilization because of that. So as I mentioned, the fiscal year ends in about 2 weeks. It usually takes about 6 weeks for us to get all the vendor invoices in and process those and to analyze revenues and make sure they're in the proper fiscal year. So the next time I speak to you about this will probably be around mid-August, and I should have some more firmer numbers, unaudited, but firmer numbers about how our fiscal year ended. As you recall, we did budget to use about $4 million of our fund balance, but at this point, I will say that we will probably use substantially less, maybe none. Maybe there'll be a small surplus for the year. It's just hard to tell right now, but I can pretty much guarantee that our final results will be better than we anticipated with our original budget. So, any questions?
Sounds good. Any questions? Any more? Thank you. Great job. Thank you. Under item B, consideration of authorizing the city manager to submit a one-year action plan to HUD. I open the public hearing. Anyone who would like to speak on this agenda item may come forward at this time. Anyone who would like to speak on this agenda item may come forward at this time. I close the public hearing. Councilman Vogler.
Yes, Mayor, I move we adopt a resolution authorizing the city manager to submit to the United States Department of Housing and Urban Development a one-year action plan.
Second by Councilman Buckner. Discussion of the motion. Madam Clerk, call the roll, please.
Reverend Campbell.
Aye.
Mr. Hood.
Aye.
Mayor Jones.
Aye.
Mr. Mayo.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Miller.
Aye.
Mr. Saunders.
Aye.
Mr. Vogler.
Aye.
Mr. Whittle.
Aye.
Mr. Buckner.
Aye.
Item C, consideration of approving changes to the city's personnel system regulation. Vice Mayor.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a resolution, an ordinance amending the personnel system of the city of Danville, providing for the classification, compensation, and employment development for employment positions of the city.
Is there a second? Second by Councilman Vogler. Discussion of the motion. Madam Clerk, call the roll, please.
Mr. Hood.
Aye.
Mayor Jones.
Aye.
Mr. Mayo.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Miller.
Aye.
Mr. Saunders.
Aye.
Mr. Vogler.
Aye.
Mr. Whittle.
Aye.
Mr. Buckner.
Aye.
Reverend Campbell.
Aye.
Sarah, thank you. Under item D, consideration of approval of a moral obligation with American National Bank. Councilman Vogler.
Yes, Mayor, I move we adopt a resolution authorizing and approving execution of a moral obligation agreement by and between the City of Danville, Virginia, and American National Bank and Trust Company of Virginia Banking Corporation.
Second by Councilman Mayo. Discussion of the motion.
Got a question. That
Councilman
rate gonna
Whittle.
drop any? That rate drop on the moral obligation?
Michael, if you can answer that, please. Repeat your question, Madison.
Asking if the rate will be lower on the moral obligation. Corey may have the actual interest rate for this particular borrowing, but the rates that we are seeing on borrowings is a little bit lower than what we've seen in past years. So I'm sure it's probably a little lower than what we've, like I said, what we've had to deal with in past years. The rate I was talking about was more of our investment availability for rates, the CDs and that type of thing that we're investing our idle cash in. But typically on these that we've done this year, if we've renewed a loan, they have been a little bit lower as far as interest rate goes from what we had. Okay.
Madam Clerk, call the roll, please. Aye.
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 Vogler.
Aye.
Mr. Whittle.
Aye.
Mr. Buckner.
Aye.
Reverend Campbell.
Aye.
Mr. Hood.
Aye.
On item E, consideration of approval of a support agreement with Danville, Pennsylvania Regional Industrial Facility Authority. Councilman Vogler.
Yes, Mayor, I move we adopt a resolution of the City Council of the City of Danville, Virginia, approving a support agreement with the Danville, Pennsylvania Regional Industrial Facility Authority.
Second by Councilman Whittle. Discussion of the motion. Madam Clerk, call the roll, please.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Miller.
Aye.
Mr. Saunders.
Aye.
Mr. Vogler.
Aye.
Mr. Whittle.
Aye.
Mr. Buckner.
Aye.
Reverend Campbell.
Aye.
Mr. Hood.
Aye.
Mayor Jones.
Aye. Consideration of amending the fiscal year 2021 budget appropriation ordinance for additional federal aviation funding. Dr. Miller.
Yes, sir. Mr. Mayor, I'd like to propose an ordinance amending the fiscal year 2021 budget appropriation ordinance to provide for additional federal aviation funding for the purpose of completing design services to rehabilitate taxiway connections in the south ramp of the Danville Regional Airport with no local matching share. First reading.
Second by Councilman Buckner. Mark, thank you so much.
Got a question. So we're working to be able to get the bigger jets in, Mark, for, is this going to help with the bigger planes that are going to want to start coming in for the Caesars?
Exactly. Well, the south ramp is the primary location for business aviation development. We've had prospects looking at the airfield for locations. That's always been the most desired spot. It's isolated. It's a large ramp. There's good utility access. But in the very, very short term, it's definite that we need surplus aircraft parking. This past first week in June, when the VIR race occurred, we had over 30 jets came into the field, and we had to park. Our ramp was completely maxed out. We had to park an aircraft, excuse me, a jet on a runway. We had to close our shorter crosswind runway because we didn't have enough aircraft parking space. Now imagine if we have Caesars overlapping with a VIR race.
And I know y'all are focusing on that, so, and of course it was no local match, and we appreciate that. So you coordinate with Caesars, and we've got a plan that we are working on to make sure we get to that point where we can get those bigger planes in.
Well, we're not working directly with Caesars. We're anticipating what may be needed, and we have 6 projects going on right now that are directly related to anticipated increased traffic, from terminal building renovations to increased fuel supply to meet demand. So we have worked with Caesars on one project, and that was our airport promotional video. And so we do have a relationship that I'm sure will blossom over time.
Thank you.
I must admit your time was up. That
I understand.
Mr. Attorney, you want to give the council some updates on our seating?
Okay.
I know that sound threw you off.
Yes. Now that we have, the pandemic has eased up a little bit, I was reading today with great interest. I think we are averaging less than 2 cases a day in Danville. We are going to return to the dais. So first meeting in July, the staff will return to the dais and everything will go back to normal. So where Mr. Saunders is sitting is where the manager will sit, and where Mr. Vogler is sitting is where I will sit, and we'll be sitting a little bit closer together and communing a little bit closer together.
Thank you, sir. Under Communications, City
Make
Manager.
a motion, we just keep it the way it is. Just kidding.
Once again, our city manager is on a well-due vacation. I didn't call him, Councilman Saunders. He called me today, and he was bragging about the waves. I'm sitting in my chair. I said, so just rub it in. So he's not here tonight, enjoying a well-deserved vacation with his family. Deputy City Manager, you have anything? Thank you so much. City Attorney?
I needed to add that work sessions will return to across the hall, and the city manager can't help but be a city manager when he's on vacation, and he emailed all of us yesterday a story from Florida where somehow a small town in Florida ended up making a real estate sale, selling their only water tower. And the crisis that caused in that small community. So he can't help. Everywhere he goes, he is a city manager.
I started not answering the call, but I said I better answer it. City Clerk, roll call, please.
Vice Mayor Miller?
Yes, I'm sorry Mr. Brown left. For centuries, how did people learn trades? They apprenticed, whether it was from their parents or with other people. And somehow we got away from that, and I think this is an awesome program to apprentice people again to learn a trade. Last Tuesday at the home sign, there was an interdenominational gathering of several area ministers, a choral group from First Presbyterian. This was in honor of the 223 people who have died in the pandemic in the Danville, Pennsylvania area, including Danville and Pennsylvania County. This doesn't count the other people who delayed seeking medical care, who stayed at home with their stroke or their heart attack or didn't get their blood pressure treated, and they were indirect casualties of COVID. There's no way we can count those people. I don't think any of us in this room doesn't, all of us know someone who died of COVID. So it was a very powerful ceremony, and we pray for the fallen and their families. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Nothing?
Thank you.
Nothing tonight.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, I'd just like to yield my time to Cornell Totten. He made a mistake earlier and said he needed to be called up here to correct his mistake. Cornell, I'm yielding to you.
I was asking him to go ahead and say it, but I want to also give honor and thank our sponsors that helped put Rock the Block together again this year. That's Pennsylvania County Community Action, the Danville Regional Foundation, the Opportunity Neighborhood Initiative, the City of Danville Police Department, Sheriff Department, and some other departments in the City of Danville. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Reverend Campbell?
Yes, I've been blessed, Mr. Mayor, in the city of Danville to have a major accomplishment in my life in that I was able to reach on June 6th to be able to be 70 years old. So, 70 years old, Bucky. And I was really surprised by my daughter, Rebecca, and Dietrich from Atlanta. They just blew me off the chart. That they really surprised me. They caught me off guard, completely surprised me. And she came all the way up from Atlanta, and they put a lot of effort and time into surprising me. So I really thought that the surprise birthday party was about me. But Mr. Mayor, they went back to the 70s, and they was not really trying to talk about me, but it was talking about the former mayor, Sherman Saunders. So if I could just do something for about 15 or 20 seconds, what my daughter Dee and Becky did to me. So if I can take my coat off, please.
Let it be about you and not the former mayor this time.
I had to stop the bucket right here. And, actually, they did this to me now.
Like a disco shirt?
So back in the 70s, you know, Sherman, you know,
See, it's supposed to be about you. You didn't call it Sherman again.
had a discotheque chain. Put that on for a second. And, really excited me so much until he just brought a new life. Then they went on a little further. They said I'm not complete yet because they want me to know that I'm wealthy. So they gave me another chain of gold. But the main thing back in the 70s, Sherman, we had hair. I want everybody to know this is how Sherman looked back in the 70s. Oh, Lord.
James Brown.
You know, it is really nice to see a young man turn 70 years young and still got his groove. I think what you miss, and next year, your daughters should have invited Dr. Miller and Councilman Vogler, because what was missing from the 70s, they would have brought the wobble. So I'm sorry that they didn't invite Dr. Miller, because Dr. Miller just had a brand new grandbaby. He was ready to wobble at your birthday. I got to stop because Councilman Vogler is trying to get out to the OtterBox. So call the roll, please.
Mr. Hood?
Yeah, I would just like to say with the country opening up, we as a city are fortunate to continue to take on a strategic approach when it comes to budgeting and thriving as a city by putting our best effort forward. I'm proud of the city of Danville and its direction it's going as a whole.
Before Councilman Campbell, I need you to stand up, but Councilman Whittle wants a picture, so could you stand up?
I'll get another.
Madam Clerk.
Ma'am?
Rick James ain't got nothing on this. but definitely, happy birthday.
Look good.
Man, you look good. I tell you, I remember when you had hair. And Sherman, I remember you had hair too.
Stop right there.
And I did remember you had hair. But it's all, this is good laughter. But definitely, Mr. Brown, with bringing in his apprenticeship, it was definitely a joy to see it because, you know, what we do in the community and what we're trying to do for our citizens, this is something that definitely will bring a lot of opportunities for so many. So I want to commend him on that. And Cornell, that rocked the block, we're ready for that. And we're hoping that it's a good outcome. There's so many things happening in the city. I just did a basketball camp on last week, and y'all, I tell you, after the first day, I didn't think I can get through it. I didn't have to strive like I used to. 20 years of doing it, the joy I get is helping kids, and I just take it back when I was coming up as a kid, someone spent time teaching me the game, and that's what I get the joy out of, is teaching the game back, and the kids today, they're teaching me now. They're teaching me how to run the floor. I can do down, but I can't come back. And so it was a joy to have that, and it's just I look forward to it every year. And you know, in doing it 20 years, Lucille Harrison, late Lucille Harrison from Parks and Rec, and I started it, and it was something that was dear to my heart, and I helped it to raise money for so many efforts. Back then it was High School Summer League. And I'm fortunate that Pennsylvania County Community Action, through the programs that they always trying to put out, and I'm with two organizations that we really try to do a lot for the community. It really helps kids that are unfortunate to be able to go to camps. If you just want to see how camps are this year, kids got their favorite college team. Some of them just can't afford to go to a camp there. So you made a camp that's fortunate and gives a kid an opportunity to know that they have had that experience. So thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. It was hard to look at Councilman Mayo. I'm sorry that I was not able to look at you because Disco Danny beside you. Councilman Saunders.
Stevie Wonder.
And then he had Maceo put this real coat on him. But Councilman Saunders, I want to thank you for your prayer. Councilman Saunders talked about love, and then Councilman Campbell came behind talking about the love that his family and his friends showed him, and that's what it's all about. Councilman Vogel is ready to get out of here, so this meeting is adjourned.